So Arsenal 0, Leicester 1 at the Emirates, and really disappointing. Kaya, your thoughts?
Oh, mate, that was got to be some of the most frustrating TV I've ever watched. It was so frustrating. It's like, I don't know what's happened there. Firstly, I'll just say it's the first time Mikel Arteta has actually pissed me off. Right? It's the first time I've looked at him. I thought, you know what? You're trying to be too clever. You got it wrong. You don't know what your best front three is at all. You don't know, right? You're just winging it. It's like, it seems like he's just making it up as he goes along. Yeah, Aubameyang was on the left, then on the right, then back on the left. Lacazette up front, not good enough. He's, at the moment, I have to say, I just don't think he's good enough for us, mate. The chance he missed was ridiculous. I know he was a little bit unfortunate with the offside goal, the offside thing with Xhaka, because I think that should have stood. But it's the first time I've looked at Arteta, I'm going, you know what? You're a bit out, I wouldn't say out of your depth, but you're doing things there that you shouldn't be doing. I mean, look, everyone can see that Aubameyang is lost on the wings. Just play him up front. For God's sake, just play him up front. Aubameyang puts that away, that chance with his head. He gets something on it. Lacazette seemed to just pull out. I think he saw the high boot there and he kind of shit himself a bit. I'm sorry to say it, but he did. He's kind of gone like that, winced a little bit, and he's pulled out of it. And, you know, again, Xhaka, I don't know what Xhaka's doing in the team. He must be amazing in training. He must be the best trainer you'll ever see in your life. Because when he steps on the pitch, some of his passes are just, he'll do one or two really, really nice, long, 40-yard, beautiful Hollywood balls, and then he'll fluff a 15-yard pass, a straightforward one, and we're on the back foot. It's just so frustrating. Why didn't El Neni start that game? It's just I just don't understand it. I think the reason why Partey didn't shine is because I think he's half worried about Xhaka. I don't think Xhaka gives him that confidence to go forward. And Aubameyang looks shot to bits at the minute. I mean, I've been backing him the last couple of weeks, but I've got nothing to say about him now. I mean, I know he hasn't had much service, but it's just so poor. The intensity was gone. The levels of enthusiasm weren't there. It was, you know, when David Luiz went off injured, we suffered. He was almost like a quarterback in the first half, spraying beautiful passes. Sorry, Joe.
No, it's fine. No, I was just I thought I better stop you for a minute just to start and get another question in.
Sorry, mate.
No. Listen, you're perfectly entitled to your rant, and I can hear where you were going with it. But I was just going to interject and say on the David Luiz thing, just while you were talking about him, yeah, you were right. I was saying in the first half, you know, that some of the balls he were putting in to feet, that ball he put over for Tierney was wonderful, and a few for Saka and all the rest of it, but he was spraying them almost quarterback-like, and it was a joy to watch. And he was actually working really hard. He wasn't letting a lot past him. And if you remember when we were talking about the fact that we thought Vardy would work off of the shoulder of Luiz, and obviously he didn't come on until late. But then
ended up being the shoulder of Mustafi.
Well, exactly what I was just about to say. God. Rodgers has obviously said, you know. He's obviously given him the instruction, play off the shoulder of Mustafi. He did exactly that, and the rest we know. We know the situation. Yeah.
And he should have got another one at the end, Vardy as well. Should have got another one at the end if it weren't for Bert Leno.
Well, there we go.
Just such a poor, disappointing performance. You know, I just didn't think under Arteta we could produce that level of performance anymore. I thought you look at teams like Pep, Klopp. You know, they don't play like that. It doesn't matter who they're playing against. They don't just walk around. Even after we went 1-0 down, I was just looking at everyone walking around. Look, when Gabriel almost, I feel bad for him because he made a couple of errors at the end, but he was trying to make things happen. He was stepping into that kind of CDM role, trying to make things happen. But the front line, just all walking around, Joe. Like, what's going on? Just someone make a run or someone drop deep. Aubameyang did it a couple of times, but it's just so lazy. It was such a lazy, shit performance, and I'm just mortified by it, to be honest with you.
It was shoddy. It was slow. Adam was saying how slow it seemed we were playing.
Pedestrian-like. It's pedestrian-like.
Yeah.
It was just like...
But also, we did mention this, that's fine. Also, did you notice, that, and we knew this, and I mentioned this yesterday about the way that Rodgers was probably going to set the team up was to stop us from playing, and that seems like exactly the way that he set the team up. It was never going to be an exciting thing to watch, and we had loads and loads of chances in the first half and should have stuck something away. We've got to take those chances against teams like Leicester and all the teams above us. Yeah. And if we don't, we know what's going to happen. We're going to end up in 9th and 10th again, aren't we?
Well, even when Lacazette, it's just embarrassing, really, because even after he missed a chance, he didn't put his head in his hands. He's looking around at Tierney or someone to go, well, something wrong with the cross, or trying to blame someone else. Just take it like a man, mate. You missed the chance from 1 yard out. Don't look at Tierney. That cross was pinpoint. All he had to do is get just an inch of his forehead on it, and it's a goal. And then it's a different game. And then Leicester have got to push a bit more. They don't sit 10 behind the ball. And then we've got a different game, and we can perhaps get the second and the third. So it's flashpoints like that in the game. You've really, really got to take those chances. And Lacazette, I'm sorry, for me, he's not good enough. He's just not good enough right now. And I would probably go with Nketiah for the next game, or go with Aubameyang up front. I mean, look at Lacazette's goals. I mean, he got a fumbly goal against Fulham on the opening day of the season. So it's not like he's ripping up loads of trees to start as that number 9, so to speak. But yeah, even after the goal went in, that's what really disappointed me. I understand it's difficult to break down a team like Leicester. I understand, I'm sitting there, I'm not a professional footballer, but you know what you're looking at, and you know that people are just walking around, people are not making runs, or just the intensity levels were just so far off. And one of the commentators said something about, it might have been a little bit of, tiredness from going to Vienna. And no, it's not that. I don't know what it was, Joe. I don't know. Maybe you can enlighten me, because
it was Vienna. It wasn't Azerbaijan. It was Vienna.
I know. They haven't flown back from Australia. You can jet lag.
You can drive there. It's not one of those places.
I know.
Yeah. They're there and back in style as well. They're not. They're not cattle class on an easy jet. They're there and back quickly. I know. And they're treated very well. They're thoroughbred racehorses, all of them, and they're treated, by the cream of the crop. They get everything they need. So I wouldn't put it down to tiredness. That's what they're paid hundreds of thousands of pounds not to be. So and this early in the season, not for me. That doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me.
No, not me, mate. No, not me. You should be firing all cylinders now. You got a chance to get into the top 4. Man City have dropped points.
Chelsea, Man United.
Everyone's dropped points. You've got everyone above us dropped points.
Yep.
Yeah, and you put in a performance like that, it's just a little bit. It was a little bit gutless for me.
Yeah,
it really was. I think they could have thrown a bit more caution to the wind, but they just.
So what does that mean now? It means that we've got to move. We've got to get a win now, haven't we? In the next one.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And that's. We could go up there and win quite easily. I just hope Arteta, right, is not the stubborn type of manager that Wenger was in the last 2 or 3 years, that stuck by his guns and played a certain way and didn't listen to the fans or listen to, people around him. And I hope Arteta now he's going to go into that game and realise he's got to get that front 3 sorted, Joe. He's got to understand who plays where, and he's changing it every week. Maybe he's of the opinion that they're all good enough to play anywhere. And I don't believe that. I think once you're settled in a position and you're there for 10, 12 games, you become accustomed to it, and your players behind you, they become accustomed to your runs and what you're going to do. And it just, you start blending as a team a lot better if you're not constantly swapping those front 3 around. And for me, I think that was one of the main reasons why we lost, because as soon as the ball broke and we had, we're knocking it around sideways. The front 3 almost didn't know what they were doing half the time. And there was an incident actually in the first half where Bellerin's gone racing clear, and Lacazette's it was outside the box. He's put a beautiful ball across the face of the box. And he's going like that, like, where are you? And it's like they don't know what they're doing up there at the moment. And I think they just need to be a lot more structure. I think that everyone needs to have their position. And hope Arteta now goes into the next game and goes, you know what, we've got that wrong. We'll give him a pass. I'm going to give him a pass for the season anyway. We've got that wrong, but let's learn from it and not perform like that again, and just get that front 3 sorted, Joe. That's the main thing for me.
Oh well, let's see how we go. Very disappointing night, but thanks for joining me anyway.
No worries, mate. Take care.
Okay.